Hi everyone, welcome to the Community of Cultures CoC live session about fertility. I'm hoping everyone can hear me okay, and Maninder should be joining us very soon. But yeah, thank you for joining tonight. So this CoC live series that I've set up, I'll tell you a little bit about this Community of Cultures project that I'm project manager for to begin with. So basically, the Community of Cultures was a project that was started by Sheffield Maternity Cooperative. That's our parent organisation. And what we aim to do is we provide support, one-to-one advocacy and safe spaces for people who are coming from Black communities, Asian communities and ethnic minority communities. And the reason we do this is because we know there is a lot of health inequalities out there. Just waving at Melinda. There's a lot of health inequalities in maternity care and in healthcare in general, and we feel that by providing these safe spaces need to be provided because at the moment there is a gap, and people need a space where they feel like they can be comfortable and discuss things with other people who are representative of their communities. So that's where our project came from. And this, let's see if I can add Melinda. Invite to join, there we go. This Community of Cultures live project that I started, we've done one live so far. Hello!
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm just filling in the viewers about the project, the Community of Cultures project. So I was just saying that the live series that I've done, basically, it's to chat to different people, different specialists, different people who've got lived experience about a variety of topics, and how culture affects them, basically. And tonight we are here to talk about fertility, and we've got a wonderful guest tonight. We've got Maninder joining us, and Maninder is a fertility coach. So I'm just going to do a quick check-in with you. How are you doing, Maninder?
I'm well, thank you. I'm so sorry. I had just finished work. I was just on my way.
That's okay.
I was a bit later than expected, so apologies that I'm in the car.
That's okay. Are you all right to chat still? Is it all good?
Yeah. I'm okay to chat. I hope you can all see me okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Because I've got you on a little stand and I'm not sure if it's good. That's good.
I can hear you fine. I can hear myself as well. I'm just, is it okay on your end?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So tell us a bit about how you're feeling and your work, and just a brief little introduction to who you are.
Hi, yeah, so I'm Maninder Khalsa, and I am a mum of two now, and I had my daughter through IVF first one was in 2019, and then 2021, and that is what made me become a fertility coach, because I noticed that in our South Asian community, we just didn't talk a lot about infertility or, the struggles, IVF, or anything of this sort. And I felt that I really wanted to help other people because it was so common. And when I started to talk about my story, what I was going through, so many others reached out and, said to me that they're going through something similar, they can relate, and they wish that they had sort of service when they were trying and, when they were struggling. And also I have endometriosis, stage 4, so that was the reason why I had gone for treatment, because I had actually got told that I had I wouldn't be able to like conceive naturally, and that I had 24% even on IVF. So, you know, that was my reason. Well, yeah, this is how it all started. I just wanted to be a helping hand for other people.
That's really good, thank you. So we're covering fertility. You've covered a few of the key points, basically, that it is not talked about very often in different communities. There's still a lot of stigma attached to it as well. I myself went through my own fertility journey. I had polycystic ovaries, so when we were trying to conceive our first child, we miscarried our first pregnancy, and then we went on, and I went on to ovulation drugs for my polycystic ovaries. But that whole journey was really quite lonely, and it was one of these things where I was constantly saying to myself, I have such a big family, like I'm part of an Asian family that's so big. I'm like, why me? You know, why? What's going on with me? Because, you know, my grandma had so many kids and my nan has so many kids, and it's like, it's just not heard of. So, but the thing is, it's not that it's doesn't happen. I think it just doesn't get spoken about, a lot of the issues. So that's why it's really important, and that's why I've chosen to cover this topic on this Instagram live. So we're just going to go through some questions, if that's okay, and just like have a little chat. So obviously I understand you've got lived experience of fertility difficulties, if and it can be difficult to revisit your journey, so, you know, just tell us whatever you're comfortable with. Why, well, you've kind of told us this, why did you become a fertility coach? But if you want to add anything more to that.
I just, you know what, it's just, I had this, it was like a calling. I just felt like, you know what, I wanted to do something, because I still felt I was lucky because it worked for me the first time. But then that wasn't the case for everyone. So I felt that I could bring something. Can you see me? So did I freeze there?
Yeah, sorry, it cut out, but I'm here.
Sorry, yeah. So I come from obviously a South Asian Sikh family, and I was lucky because I was able to talk to them about it. My mum herself has gone through infertility, and that allowed me to, I guess, you know, tell them, have someone to speak to through the journey. However, even though I had them there, because they were not going through it, they didn't quite understand it.
Yeah.
And I still felt like, you know, sometimes there's just unspoken words that you just want someone to hear. And that was what I wanted, what I want to do for others. It's like, I hear you, I hear what you're not saying.
Yeah. No, that's really powerful. Culturally, we know that discussing fertility difficulties is still, as I said, it's got a lot of stigma attached to it. Did culture affect you and your fertility journey? Like, how do you think culture affects the fertility journey?
For me, culture came in when it came to telling my in-laws. So I actually hadn't told my in-laws I had IVF until last year. So it was only actually last year I told them that both the girls were going to have IVF. And it was because I was going to start talking about it with other people that I wanted them to know, and I didn't want them to hear about it from someone else.
Yeah.
So last year, I think it was the beginning of the year that we sat down and told them. Also, I think it was the fact that, like you said, you know, they don't talk about it. It doesn't exist. You know, everyone makes it act like it doesn't exist. It does exist. But I really felt, because my mother-in-law hadn't gone through difficulty, they've got 5 children, luckily. And if anything, she used to say how she was studying or she was doing something when she conceived, and how it was kind of a hindrance at that point in her life.
Yeah.
Oh, she wouldn't understand what it feels like to yearn for a child and actually, having to do that. Also, IVF has a stigma itself in the culture.
Yeah.
The lack of understanding and education around it, that people don't actually understand the process and what it means.
Yeah.
So, you hear, I remember growing up hearing a lot of test tube baby, as if,
I know.
what does that even mean?
I've heard that a lot as well. Again, it comes down to education around it. There isn't much out there for older generations as well, I think. There's definitely a generational thing where people just don't know what to say, they don't understand it, and we see this with other things as well. We see this with mental health, we see this with baby loss, and fertility is just I've seen a lot of people feel like they've been blamed a lot when things aren't going right, or they're not doing something, they're doing too much of something, or they're not following some sort of thing that they should do. You know what I mean? I can see you nodding.
Yeah, I think there was a part of that. I think I felt if you hold extended, they might feel, oh, there's something wrong with that. I'm saying this now openly, I felt really guilty when I felt like this, but I sort of wish when we were going through our fertility journey and finding out what the reason was, I sort of hoped that there'd be something wrong with my husband and not me.
And
because in that way, no one would think it's always a woman. It's, there's something wrong with him. It's just easier in a way.
Then this happens a lot in the South Asian communities, that that there is, I know that's people I've spoken to, immediately the woman is blamed for it, but fertility issues, it isn't just, fertility affects men as well, so but that's even less spoken about, and there's so much to do with that, with toxic masculinity in the community, and so many issues where men are sort of expected to be a certain way, so that it couldn't possibly be anything to do with the man. It's like that happens so much. Where did you turn to for support on your fertility journey, and how easy was it to find support?
So for me, I didn't actually reach out to any support. I actually, not anyone else. I think it was more just my kind of just went into something, like, you go into your little bubble.
Yeah.
And that was it. I'd obviously speak to, because my mum's gone through IVF, and she was conceived. I'd tell her, but times have changed, processes have changed, and every cycle is different. So it was hard to explain to them, and also in a way, sometimes I kind of felt like I didn't want to tell them because they're getting excited, and it's like, what if it doesn't work? More pressure on you.
Yeah.
I was sort of thrown into it because I had surgery in 2018 May, and then by July I was having my IVF. I was thrown into it because I just didn't have time. I was on the hormonal injection. It meant that my last one was going to be in June, so it meant by the end of June, the beginning of July, I had to be a fertility clinic, because I sort of felt that at a clean slate, I'd have a better chance.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get to think about it, more just a race with time in a way. It was like, to get this in, I have to, let's do this. It was just, you just went into it and you dealt with it. And it was only afterwards that I actually realised impact it had on me. And I still remember it was in lockdown, and it was November, and I was clearing out the room, and I'd still kept the injection boxes, but this was from my second round, so this was 2020, and I just took them out, and I just laid them out, and I just cried. Like, wow, each one of the needles I've put into my body for the hope that something will come out of it.
Yeah.
And something has come out of it, but at the cost of my mental health. And it kind of felt sad because it was like, oh my God, I've gone through a lot. And only then did I realise exactly what, because even after my second, they were like, if you want to have another one, you've got to go within a year. And again, it was a race against time, not allowing the endometriosis to grow. Any pain I would have, it was like, what does this mean? It was like, it was just, and then COVID happened, beginning of 2020, and that's when I was meant to go for my second round. So it was just, that was a stressful time.
Yeah.
It was, I just didn't get a chance in between any of it to actually stop and go, right, I'm doing this.
It just sort of takes you away in the moment, doesn't it? And then like you kind of, the only time you can reflect on it is after you've gone through it. So even though you probably would have benefited from some support while you were going through it, I think it sounds like there wasn't enough time to even digest what was going on.
Yeah.
Your endometriosis, how do you feel like these sort of topics are tackled in the South Asian community? Endometriosis, polycystic ovaries. What's your experience? I mean, as a fertility coach, I don't know if you've heard or have experience with how these topics are tackled.
They're not. They're just not. Again, saying, with infertility, you're sort of told, oh, everyone has periods, they're painful. I've had comments, by friends have turned around and gone, oh, your work must be really good because you're always off. And you're like, I'm not off the fun. I'm going through something. And again, it's lonely because everyone feels like they want to give me their... Obviously, I've put on weight, and they'll be like, oh, if you lose weight, that'll probably fix all my problems. And you're like, how it quite works, but okay. Everyone's got some diet, or everyone's got an opinion. It just stops to ask you, hey, how are you? What do you need? How can I help you? So again, when after having my start going page, talk about motherhood and talk about endometriosis and just generally put it out there, because it's something that we don't need to address and talk about. It is a very, very long journey when you're suffering with a chronic condition.
And I think, talking about anything like periods or pregnancy, it's so like hush hush. I know, like growing up, it was just something that I even struggled to talk about it with family, like myself. It was just not. I think nowadays it's more encouraged to talk about these things, and I do wonder if it was more openly talked about when I was younger. And I only found out I had polycystic ovaries when I was trying for a baby when I was in my 20s, but I've had issues with my periods like the whole time, but not really spoken about it. And or if I have spoken about it, as you say, periods are painful, periods are heavy, or whatever. And it's still so such a hush hush situation that that's why I admire what you're doing, because you are sort of making it more normalized to talk about these things and to talk about the fertility journey. So how do you think that we can break the silence and that stigma around fertility journey in our communities?
I think talking about the things like this, fertility, people coming out and talking about their stories, talk to your family members. It starts at home, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just put it out there. What's the worst that's going to happen? Someone's probably going to turn around and like give you their 2 pence. But see, it's fear that really, always pulls us back. And there is a lot of emotion to that, not just this all, but I think with these things, I've just put it out there and just see what was going to come back. I actually kind of expected some sort of backlash from someone or the other, or said something wrong. And you'll realize so many people are just going through the same thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is just talking to our children about it. If there's anyone older watching this, just be like an article with you, anything like that. Just the smallest everyday to-day things. Bring it up and just see who may be like, actually, you know what, I'm struggling or I need this. The other thing is, I'm just trying to, we need to do more recognition outside, like have conferences, have meetups, have, just advertise it more that, hey, it's normal, we know what you're going through, we're here because we go through it. They say, is it 1 in 6 women, or not women, but couples are going through infertility.
Yeah.
Just look around your circle. We all probably know someone who is probably silently going through this. So I think it's more just checking in as well on each other. Just say, hey, how are you? If someone feels comfortable, they will open up to you once you've built that relationship with them.
Yeah.
But I think it's more so knowing where to go about it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I would say there needs to be more, as we were talking about, there needs to be more education around it. In places of worship as well, where people go, community hubs, places where people meet together, just to generally raise awareness and to normalize conversation around it.
Yeah.
Someone just said there's a disruption in your audio.
I kind of felt like that as well. I kept kind of hearing myself, but I wasn't sure if there was an issue, so I thought I'd just carry on. Sorry.
Oh no.
I'm not sure how to fix it.
It's all right because we're coming towards the end of it anyway. But I am really hoping and keeping everything crossed that this live saves, because I did an Instagram live last year, our first one, and Instagram, they went through loads of times where they were having glitches and things were going down. It was at that time and it didn't save it, and it was just devastating. And I feel like we've had a really good conversation, so I'm really hoping that this saves. But no, thank you so much. Maninder's actually doing an event for us for the Community of Cultures project, a full event, an hour about fertility, and we're focusing on mental health and the impact on relationships and family dynamics. That is a free event for people from Black communities, Asian communities, and ethnic minority communities. The link is in our bio if you want to get a free ticket to that. And that's in June the 8th, I believe, from 7 till 8 p.m. Really looking forward to that because it's just such a topic that is so important. And so we could go so in depth about so many different things, I think. But yes, it starts with us talking about it and raising awareness, and that's how we're going to change things, I think. So have you got any final comments?
No, I think it's, as I always say, it's whenever talk to anyone or needs anything in regards to this, my page is open, DMs are open, just not even as a sales thing. It's just more, you know, hey, I'm here to listen, and anything you need, just reach out. Thank you so much for having me on this, and creating this platform, because yeah, I need more of this.
Thank you. Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye now, but hoping it saves. If not, I'll be doing a very quick overview of our discussion. But thank you to everyone who's joined us. If anyone does have any questions after this, please feel free to DM us. I'll send them over to Maninder and we can answer them as well. And yeah, just look out for get a ticket for the event. It's a free ticket as well. So thank you, Maninder.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Sorry about the
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.